I grew up in the north of England and I used to go to church. In fact, I was forced to go to church with my parents, and in those times I was very small, and the problem with being small when you're at church is you don't actually see a great deal of church. And the other thing I used to find strange is everybody used to smell of mothballs because they used to have always wearing the Sunday best. So I actually didn't get a great deal from that church. Even though I used to go regularly, I didn't actually get any spiritual nourishment. I grew up for the first 40 odd years of my life actually looking for God, and I actually looked in all sorts of places but never found him. However, when I migrated to Perth in the year 2000, I met this amazing person, my wife-to-be, called Lally, and she recommended that I go to this church called Riverview. And I was a little bit put off by churches because I'd been to so many in the past and never actually found anything. However, this was to be the most moving experience of my life. I was sitting there, it was as if the pastor was speaking to me, and I actually said to my wife, I said, "Have you said something? Does he know about me?" Because he was talking directly to me. I couldn't believe it. And it had an effect inside me where my hand went up and the tears rolled down my face. And this is where I made my connection with God. I'd been coming to Riverview Church for a number of years. And one particular Sunday, the band was playing like they normally do, brilliantly. But all of a sudden I heard these words in my head. And the words said, "I want you to see and record everything that is before you." And I was absolutely gobsmacked with that. And from that moment, I was switched on, looking through lenses and becoming a photographer. I went out the very next week and bought myself a camera. And I wanted to take a photograph of everything I saw. It was just amazing. And I became initially a happy snapper. And then it got worse. I got more and more involved. I started seeing things which I used to walk past on the street. I could see God's creations. I could look at insects in a different way. I could look at sunsets in a different way. I could see people on the street. Normally I wouldn't even be looking at them. And I am standing in front of them, spending hours taking photographs of something very simple. In 2008, I took my new camera to a place called Poland. And while I was in Poland, I was visiting a city called Krakow. Now, not far from Krakow, there's a famous site called Auschwitz. This is a dark side of humanity. I spent hours and hours sitting by the barbed wire fences, taking photographs, and I felt it was my duty to record some of this. On my return to Australia, one thing I did realise, things I'd missed for so many years before that, now I could see them, and I was catching up on all the things that God wanted me to see, good and bad. Of all the pictures I've taken, there's one particular picture which always resonates with me. I just was walking along and I found this old broken bridge. I could have walked past it, but I saw it and stopped and looked. And I saw not just a bridge that was broken in decay. I saw something that represented the human life, and certainly my life at certain times. The bridge was broken. It didn't look like you want to walk across it, but it was still standing. And that bridge crossed to the other side. I just felt so much a part of this picture. Never ever give up, even when you're broken. That's what that bridge says to me. One picture like this says 1,000 words.